the real deal. What's up guys, welcome back to The Real Deal Airsoft. I'm Jake, and in this episode we're going to be taking this familiar build that you may have seen before. It has 13:1 ratio gears, and we're going to upgrade this and make it a DSG. Shout out to my boy Ricardo. Check out his channel, he has dope airsoft content. If you want to see some gameplay of this bad boy, just head over to his channel. Basically, we play indoors a lot, right? He wanted to be the snappy god, to have the best trigger response because we really don't use auto. So basically what he wanted was a super durable, super snappy trigger response build. We decided to go with the 18:1 ratio DSG gear set bundle that we have on www.therealdealairsoft.com. This is pretty much a super custom build, and in this video you're going to see all the cool components from the gearbox to the piston to the motor to the Mosfet, all that. So we're gutting out the old G&G gearbox, throwing that in his SAI gray. That's another M4. We're utilizing the Laylax version 2 split gearbox. I feel bittersweet about it, but all in all, it's better than a regular gearbox. So without any further ado, let's hop right into this build, get into the shimming, and show you guys all the internal parts. All right, boys, this is the first time I'm getting my hands on this Prometheus CNC gearbox, and obviously its competition is Retro Arms, but I believe this was out maybe first. I could be mistaken, but you know, first glance, it's cool. They show you the metrics of the screws that you use. I went ahead and super glued the bearings inside already just to get a head start on the build. Really simple, just make sure no glue gets inside the holes, wipe everything away. And so let's talk about the split gearbox design. Is it cool? Is it not? What the? I think it's stupid. I completely understand the idea of why you'd want to have a split gearbox, but why I think it's absolutely stupid is the design. The point of a split gearbox is to be able to work on both parts independently, the compression system independently from the gears and the shims, all right? So, sounds great. All right, so let's say I want to work on the compression. Cool, take it off, bet, I got the compression. That's fine, all right? So let's say we got the piston, the cylinder, the tappet plate that's been short stroked, it's all in there, right? It's under tension. I'm like, all right, I just want to work on the gears now. I need to re-shim something. Let's do it. Oh, you can't access this panel? Why not? You have to open the top part, wow, which defeats the purpose of a split to get to the bottom. Bruh. Bro, what the hell is that? What is the point of that? And then check this out, ready? Watch. All right, so let's say somehow we're holding the compression down and we put it back, right? Okay, so the top's held down now time to shim the bottom. Bro. Okay, yeah, okay, I get it. It goes in. It's just not where it needs to be, man. This should also come off. The top should be the top and the bottom should be the bottom. The only company that I see doing it right is Retro Arms. But we're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and we're gonna start shimming this booty design, right? Oh, so let's get to the gears. First you have to expose the compression to get so it's basically a regular gearbox because you have to open up the front face of a gearbox to access. Doesn't make any sense. All right, whatever. We're gonna push it forward. It's definitely stronger than a regular gearbox, all right? So what are we doing? 18:1 ratio gears. Obviously we're going to start shimming from the bevel to pinion first, work our way up to the spur gear, then to the sector gear. For the build, this is going to be a high efficiency build, meaning that we don't want the motor to get hot, and this is strictly a semi-auto response build, and we want the highest efficiency. So we're going with the 28 TPA motor with Neo magnets. This is Infinity CNC 18,000 28 TPA motor. And for DSG, this is going to pull this M160 spring like nothing. So we're going for trigger response on this build, trigger response and durability. So that's why we went with a CNC gearbox, SHS bushings, Perun Mosfet. As well, this build is using the Real Deal Airsoft piston assembly for DSG without the spacer to optimize air volume inside the cylinder. The AOE has been corrected, second tooth removed, third tooth has been modified to prevent premature engagement. As well, guys, this is so important. This is the real juice behind this mod. This tooth is designed to be cut at a specific angle so that second tooth never accidentally clips the tooth. And this happens all the time on stock pistons. It's always scraping this tooth. It gets worn down. High rate of fire. You guys need the real deal Airsoft's piston. Without any further ado, we are going to start shimming the gears, and we'll touch base right after that. All right, just got done shimming the bevel gear. As you can see, there's like virtually no axial movement. There's very little, very, very little, but yet still spins freely. One thing I noticed about this gearbox is that you can't do the half shell shim method. I usually take the top half of the shell. You can't do that method, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. I'm able to see the whole bevel gear pretty much with this gearbox. Pretty interesting. So annoying, this gearbox. I already hate it. It's so obnoxious. Give me a regular stock G&G gearbox without a quick change spring system. I prefer it. No joke. We're trying to set the motor height. Ready? I can't even see it. You can't even see the motor height. You can't see anything. I can't even see the pinion gear. It's so obnoxious. I'm gonna have to use so many flashlights in the grip, this and that. I can't even do a half shell method because this is the other side of the gearbox. and the screws are only on one side. So normally you would take the top half of the gearbox, screw it down, you're clearly able to see the motor height. How are you supposed to adjust the motor height? Tell me how you're gonna see it. Yo, Prometheus, this is what happens when Chinese warehouse factories try and produce a product, and this is what happens when people who don't play Airsoft produce products. If I produced this gearbox, I would have made sure that it was super easy to adjust the motor height. This is why retro arms gearbox is the best, because you can see the angle of engagement on your sector gear to your piston. You can see your angle of engagement from your pinion to your bevel gear. This is obnoxious. I'm not even gonna lie. This is not the real deal. This is the most fugazi deal I've ever seen in my life. Try and peep that motor height. Let me know when you become Clark Kent, you get the x-ray vision, you see through the block of freaking CNC material. Let me know. The only thing I like is how this looks. The swirlies. So if you're into swirlies, get one of these. If you're not, get a retro arms. Get the, what the? Holy shit. We're good though. Proper bevel to pinion shimming, you heard. Right, guys, so I guess this is where the money's at for this type of a gearbox. So you could really see the shimming for these two gears at least, and how they should be. That's a really cool part of a split gearbox, is that you're really able to see how the gears are behaving with each other. If they hadn't access to see the bevel gear, then this would be a really good gearbox. But because of the lack of the bevel gear access, I say retro arms is better. But check out how butter smooth this is. Get this beat untagged for free. All right, boys, just got finished shimming the gears. Swag. If you guys like the swag, feel free to pick it up at www.therealdealairsoft.com. Anyways, we got done shimming the gears. Now we're gonna lay in the Mosfet. This is the process. Perfect your gears, take the time. It's really important. Move on to installing the Mosfet. And we're gonna see how snappy this trigger response is. I'm super excited to see how this 28 TPA motor is pulling these butter smooth gears. You heard. All right, boys, I'm bringing you that Airsoft's real deal content that no freaking noob is giving you, all right? With the Lilacs gearbox, with this little half shell panel that I kind of hated on earlier, you can really see when you flip it, your bevel to spur gear shimming. Yo, shout out to Ricardo. This is who I'm building this Airsoft replica for. Yo, your gun shim perfect. Perfection. Perfection. Guys, write down the amount of shims you have so you don't lose it. Alright boys, now on to the compression part of the build. As far as air compression is concerned, it's really important to check your cylinder head fitment. Right, that's a pretty tight air seal, but as always we want to make it the best. So around the cylinder head we're going to wrap some Teflon tape to perfect that air seal. As well, we want to lubricate this piston, and with the nozzle tappet plate, you want to test the compression by doing this, you know. But we're not up to that stage yet because I still have to get a tappet plate and modify it. But for you guys, make sure that your cylinder is always lubricated and make sure your piston head is extremely lubricated. Silicone oil doesn't really work that well. It rubs off really easy. Silicone grease is where it's at. Feel free to pick up some of this grease from www.therealdealairsoft.com. This is the gearbox grease that I use on my high rate of fire builds and all of my builds. You soak the piston head up with this grease, soak the cylinder up with this grease, and your DSG build will cycle so smoothly. And I can't stress it enough how important this grease is. You guys really need to get it. It's super cheap. It's gonna last you a very long time. That is the secret sauce that I use to get that special compression, get that snappy trigger response, and that really consistent FPS. This is the bee's knees. All right guys, I have the nozzle here. I just put on the grease, the Insidious Armory grease, and check out this air compression, right? Watch. Yo, real deal compression, the real deal, real seal. You heard? Get yourself that real deal, real seal. I can't even push it in. Boom. All right guys, this is post modification. We modified the tappet plate to release before the piston. The tappet plate spring has also been modified. And yeah, this is looking like a really clean, beautiful build. If you're interested in this trigger, check it out on the website. You already should know. So we're gonna assemble it and let's see how it looks with the split. Oh. All right, so the lower half is on. That's pretty cool. All right, boys, the build is done. The Snappy Boy trigger response build for my boy Ricardo. Am I the real deal? Did I do it? This is with an 11.1 Li-ion 3000 mAh Titan battery. No pre-cocking, no active braking. Literally, it is what it is. And this does have an ASG 28 TPA motor. Now, some of you guys might think, oh, that's really torquey, not good speed. Bruh. All right, I think I need a hearing aid. Either way, that's the real deal. This thing has a super nice rate of fire, super snappy trigger response. If you guys are interested in grabbing any of the parts, feel free to head over to the website. It's the real deal, and by the time this video comes out, we're gonna have pre-modified SHS V2 tappet plates for your DSG gear set. So basically, a real drop-in, guys. So stay on the lookout for that. Love you guys. You guys are the real deal. Until next time, I'm gonna clap the rental in his cheek. One time. Oh, kid with an HPA Polar Star, your mom bought it? That's right. Until next time, see you on the field, y'all. The real deal.